Hey guys, Brimo here, and I just wanted to give a little quick video of a book review from one of the books that has absolutely changed my life and that I highly suggest anyone that wants to go from being average to out there and kicking ass that you need to absolutely read. And that book is You Are a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. It is amazing. If you have not read the first You Are a Badass book, you should absolutely read that one. But if your focus and if your attention is on going out there and kicking ass and making money, then you need to read this book. It is, again, amazing. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. Until you read the book, you absolutely don't understand. But let me give you like a little bit, if I can, kind of summarize, kind of just tell you why I just love this book so much. And I tell everyone about this. I tell everybody that they have to read this book. And it's just because when I read this book, I literally did not want to put it down. I probably read it within like 3 or 4 days, because I had a lot of stuff to do in the meantime, work, other things, taking care of my animals, all that stuff. So if I could have read it all the way straight through, I absolutely would have in one sitting. But it's better not to do that, just because there's like small exercises and stuff throughout some of the chapters in it. It's not like, oh my gosh, you have to do this and this and this exercise like every single day. It's not like that at all, but you definitely want to pace yourself when you go through this and really absorb everything that you get from it. So Jen is super sarcastic and like straight to the point and isn't going to give you any shit. She isn't going to give you any bullshit, basically. She's not going to BS her way around telling you what you need to do in order to have a better mindset and a better drive to go out there and make all the money that you could possibly desire. So if you've ever read self-help books, sometimes it's hard to get through. Sometimes, it's a little wordy and it's like, dude, just get to the point. Like, stop repeating yourself and things like that. But this is not the case at all. This book is very much straight to the point because Jen was one of those people that was like, I don't like the woo-woo stuff. I don't like the, standing up with the name tag on and like yelling like I'm a millionaire and I'm gonna make all this money and like doing all that crazy stuff. She was totally against like all of that stuff until she wanted to change her life. And she kind of goes and tells you her story throughout the book as well as you're going through it. So it's really cool to have someone, with that same type of, personality, or like quirks that is totally against some spiritual things. Sometimes when people say like, oh, yeah, say affirmations to yourself in the mirror and like things like that. Like, yes, that does help you and you absolutely should do those things. But this book kind of slowly eases your way into doing things like that, into changing how you think about those things and how you approach those things, because it takes a lot to change your mindset. It doesn't matter like what your life was like, where you're at right now. We all have all of these beliefs around money. Say that your parents thought that money was evil, or that they thought money was never going to be there, so they like hoarded it, or were just like broke all the time. Like, there's so many different mindsets and shifts about money. Like, I know for me, money was definitely seen as something that I absolutely had to have all the time. So I needed to like save, and I needed to make enough money to pay my bills and to make sure that I was doing this and doing that. And it was almost like, not that, it was a bad thing necessarily that my parents like tried to instill fear in me about money or anything like that, but they just wanted me to be taken care of and to make sure that I always had enough, that I was always able to take care of myself. And so I never saw myself as making lots and lots of money, because I always thought that, you have to work super hard, you have to work all these hours and get this big paycheck, but big meaning not even 6 figures necessarily. So it's just like, no, this book helps you curb some of those mindsets that you've been carrying around for so long that you didn't even realize. And it just completely makes you examine your life, where your thoughts were, where you want to go. And it gives you that drive to actually go out and do something about it. Like, this book literally lit a fire under my ass. And I was like, I'm going to fucking do this shit. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make all this money because I'm fucking awesome. Like, you have to read this book. If you want some motivation, if you want a way to get around all those ugly thoughts you had about money and to just completely change your perspective and your worldview and be a badass at making money, you have to read this book. I could go on and on and on all day, but I would just rather you read it and just take it all in for yourself. So you absolutely, absolutely have to read this book. Even if you don't like self-help books, this isn't like any self-help book you have ever read in your entire life. You need to read this book if you want to change your life, especially if you want to make money. Read this book. Have a good night, guys.